NERDSoul.
They've looked for everyone, they can't find them. And they're like, Arishem was supposed to come back and judge us. I'm worried. I don't know if he's going to come back or not. And then they find out, oh, Arishem's dead.
Right. The reason why
Oh.
Erisham and the Celestials are trying to birth more Celestials is because Galactus is eating them motherfuckers. That would be
dope. That would be dope. It would be like, yo, the reason it's so important to birth these is because Galactus is killing us all. And then reference Nowhere and be like, oh, Nowhere exists because that was the first murder from Galactus. And then be like, we've been running and ducking and dodging this mom ever since, trying to birth more. Like that would be a cool way to bring Galactus in, where Celestials kind of have to come to the Eternals like, all right, look, we've been lying to y'all and stuff for years, but we need y'all help.
We're gonna need y'all to talk to Reed Richards.
Is there anything y'all can do to assist us? That I'd be down with that.
If they had a plan, like I don't believe Phase 4 really has a plan. That's my thing. Like it seems like a bunch of hodgepodge shit put together.
Yeah, well, it's weird because the shows, I'm enjoying the shows. Like by and large, I've enjoyed all the shows. I don't think there's any show that they've dropped that has been below like a C. But their movies in Phase 4 have not been blowing me away. Like even WandaVision, which I think the first 2 episodes are not necessary, I still ended up being like, okay, this was cool. I like how this opens up into stuff. I'm willing to see where all these threads go. I'm interested.
I want to say the only things in Phase 4 that I actually enjoyed was Shang-Chi and Hawkeye. And I didn't think Hawkeye was like super great, but it was better crafted, I feel like, than most of the stuff that came out. At least I didn't see any glaring things where I was just like, oh, so stupid.
Hawkeye, what I really liked about that was, Hawkeye gets to play surrogate father. I like Yelena, first realizing how short she was, I don't know why I didn't notice it in the Black Widow movie. I was like, oh, she's short. I was like whenever she's standing beside somebody, and then her arguing back and forth with Kate, I loved it. Like that every time they were together arguing or fighting, I loved that chemistry.
Those are the parts that I didn't like of Hawkeye.
Oh, really?
I was like, this is a master assassin. Why is she making jokes?
Well, I guess because she's like, yo, hey, I ain't got no beef with you. I'm just here to kill the other dude. Like, you and me.
Yeah, cool. But she like even when the stakes are high and she got to catch whoever, she's like, oh, come on. Like, joke. It's one of the things Marvel does that kind of gets on my nerves. Like, there's a time and a place for the what they call bathos. There's a time and a place for the bathos, for the lightening of the humor to help the story along. But
I feel you. Marvel does. I think they cut the tension too much. I think they're scared to let a heavy moment just stick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think they're too worried for that, and I think the story suffers from that.
What the shit are they so scared about? Is my thing. Like, what are you so scared of? You're at the top. And people love whatever you do. So how about you give us I feel like the first decade, the first saga, the Infinity Saga is mostly solid. Even with the movies that I don't necessarily like per se, it's still a solid saga. And then to come from the Infinity Saga that's just tight and it just lands, and there's the perfect amount of emotion and funniness and action, and then to come off that with all this unbalanced stuff, man. Like I'm so to a point. It used to be. This is how it used to be. Marvel movie coming out, I won't know nothing about it. I won't go in, I won't process it, and I won't feel it. And whether I liked it or not per se, I still felt that connection. like this is going to lead to this, or at the very least, the events here matter here. In Phase 4, I don't feel like that at all. Like I don't even care what happens. Like I knew the story of Eternals before I went in because I was telling Rashad, I was like, just tell me about it because I don't care what happens. Like I don't care about spoilers or nothing. Like I know the end of Spider-Man. I haven't seen it. Like because I'm just not invested whatsoever. Right. Like because nothing, in my opinion, nothing that happens in Hawkeye has to relate to Eternals. It doesn't have to. They're just throwing stuff at the wall. So what's the point?
I will give you that. Phase 4 does seem disjointed in a weird way, especially due to what we're used to. It's like it seems like we're just experiencing different parts of their lives. Now, of course, they're probably going to bring it all together in something special.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing, but at the same time, I don't feel like, even with that, I don't feel like these ideas are, like, they're not going out of their way to connect anything at all, in the sense of like, so the Celestial coming out of the water, right? And it affected nowhere else on Earth for some reason. Like that's a big thing. It's coming out of the center of the Earth.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. A Celestial poofs out of a black hole and poofs back into a black hole, and it doesn't affect anything on Earth.
I forgot to bring that up, but yeah, I was like, I'm guessing Eternals happens after all of the shows that we've seen now. Oh no, not it. All the shows that we've seen now. Because why are you going to do? Can you turn that back on? Can you turn that back on, please? Can I get my lights back? I mean, you got me here in the dark. So this is why I think Eternals is after everything we've already seen, because nobody's mentioned, hey, like a huge thing came out of the Earth that should have changed the polarity of the Earth, the tides, the all kinds of stuff. And then a huge something appeared in the sky. We all looked up, and it was just some big old robot looking thing, and like it just then disappeared.
Right. And everybody just went back to what they were doing.
Being that close to, I don't know, our atmosphere I'm assuming between us and the moon would change the, like, it would be cool to get like some sciencey type stuff, like, you know, this is where Reed could come in and be like, yo, this stuff is messing with stuff and it's not a good look, and we gotta do something about it.
He would have darkened like half the Earth, right? Like it'd have been night, half the Earth at the very least. Like they've sown inside us a desire for things to connect, and now they just kind of have us blowing in the wind, and I don't like it at all. I also feel like a lot of
like a turd in the wind.
I feel like a lot of new stuff is very manipulative, and I feel like this one didn't work. Like they were trying to manipulate, like we got to make them love the Eternals, tell them how good the humans are, love them, and it didn't work because the script was so trite. Like it just did not like say anything profound. It's like listening to somebody that just speaks in parables all the time, but they don't know what the parables mean. Like it's just so.
It's like it's that brother that just got fresh out. He been reading mad books, but he ain't like applied none of this information.
It's even worse. It's like that girl on Facebook who just got back into the church, and she posting, you know, Jesus quotes every Sunday. And then during the week she like all in kind of different mess and all that stuff. That's what it's like.
Yeah, it's like she hitting you with all kinds of scriptures.
Yeah, love thy neighbor and all that hitting you.
She would love thy neighbor,
but it doesn't apply to her real life at all. Like
then she turn around cyberbullying people.
Yeah. Love thy neighbor, but fuck that bitch.
Because it's like I said, it's not that the movie is bad. It's just below. It's around a 4.5. So it's like, I mean, they actually completed a movie, which is cool. I mean, it's more than I've done, and I know it's a large undertaking. But in that large undertaking, you did not show us people loving people. Like you didn't show us that.
It's almost insulting, man. Because I keep reading these reviews where they're like, "This is Marvel's different take on superheroes." You guys don't understand it because you're not smart.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, there's also the line of like, if you don't like it, then you don't understand it. Like this is just too deep for you.
And I feel insulted because this movie's not smart at all. Though. What did it do that was clever or smart? It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like it didn't do anything clever or smart, and it thinks it's smarter than Captain America 2. Like
it didn't subvert any. It didn't subvert any expectations.
Nothing.
It didn't. Honestly, if we look at the fallout from this film, it didn't really change the MCU at all.
Not really.
Okay, other than the fact that Eternals exist.
Other than the fact that they retconned all human progress, though, and I think that's a big mistake. Like, even in the opening credits of the movie, they're like, the Eternals gave you TV. The Eternals are the ones responsible for relativity, the theory of relativity. I was like, really?
It's like so you guys aren't even smart. Like,
you dumb humans. The Eternals are what gave you things. I think that's a mistake.
I gave you power. I made you buck wild.
Right. And they're not going to own it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's manipulative so that we think the Eternals are bigger than what they are, and then they're not going to own it. I guarantee you they're not going to own it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. And I agree. Them Eternals, nah, man, they ain't got nothing for Thanos. No, I say Thanos without the gauntlet at all. Look at how all right, Thanos had no gauntlet, right? Was handling Iron Man, Thor, and Cap. All right? No gems, B. No rings. Nothing. The Eternals would get washed. Or like my man Smug here, they would have got wiggity washed.
They said Captain Marvel was supposed to be the strongest person in the Marvel universe at the time. And they said, watch, when she shows up in Infinity War or Endgame or whatever, she gonna beat Thanos and da-da-da-da. She ain't nothing for Thanos. Nobody had nothing for Thanos except when Cap got that hammer.
She handled Thanos a little bit. She did, to her credit, she took a direct hit from the Power Stone and got back up. So
I give her credit for that. But the way they were talking about, Marvel often does this thing where it's like, this character we're about to introduce is bigger than this character that you like. And I hate that the nerfing of people, like the nerfing of the Hulk was the start of it, right? It was like Thanos comes down, and in order for Thanos to look big, he beat on the Hulk. And then, but then they don't even rectify it. They just let it go. Like, now the Hulk is whack.
Yep, they were just like, well, the Hulk don't never get it back. Just,
right. And they tried to do it with Thanos twice. First with Captain Marvel, she ain't really had nothing for him. And then second, with that stupid What If episode where it was like, what if T'Challa talked to Thanos? I was like, really? Y'all doing this? And then actually
T'Challa was just like, yo, man, look, chill out. And he was like, all right. Because T'Challa is so endearing that everybody's like, I get it.
Everybody has
but wait, why didn't he do that in the regular universe
then?
He ain't had time to get to him before he started his killer plan. You know what I'm saying?
And then they did the third time with these Eternals. Like, these people, these people are stronger than Thanos, and I'm like, no, they're not.
Well, then we got the fight. We got to not get the fight we should have got with Ultron and Thanos in What If. It's animated anyway. Let's go in and have a look, but we didn't get that. Also,
oh man, they killed Thanos 4 times actually, because Ultron was like,
yep, like now if you want to go back to Infinity War, what could have been cool is when the I can't remember, the dude with the hammer or whatever, or the one of the which one?
The Black Order dude?
Yeah, the Black Order dude. He comes down. Hulk reluctantly comes out and kind of gets a sort of like a draw decision. So he gets his confidence a little bit. Then Hulk comes out a little bit later in the movie, wins again. Then when Thanos is in the woods, Hulk's like, okay, round 2. Then it'd be like, oh snap, word? Cool. All right, we got something. And I mean, you can still have Thanos win, but this time have it where it's like, oh, hold up, Hulk kind of learned a little karate.
But it's took a couple classes. Right. Man.
He went to DeVry, took some classes.
I mean, he wasn't doing nothing else. Like, Thanos obviously still should have won, but it shouldn't have been a wash this time. The Hulk should have got his licks. Yeah. That was a wash. Thanos effectively retired the Hulk. The Hulk has never come back.
That man in injured reserve.
We were saying that judo chop was that collarbone judo chop was so strong, the Hulk turned nice. The Hulk wasn't even angry no more after that. Like, he beat the anger out the Hulk.
The Hulk just eats like breakfast and does science. That's it. He don't do nothing else.
He be going to Taco Bell getting tacos and stuff.
Yeah, he be eating pancakes and just kicking it.
Yeah, man. He
chilling. Turned to Martha Stewart after this joint.
Like, he retired. He about to be cooking for She-Hulk in a minute.
Because even if he get mad again, even if he turns back into old Hulk, we gonna be like the dude in Coming to America. Still whoop Joe Lewis's ass. Be like, oh Hulk, I see you hard now, but remember when Thanos was coming? Hey,
I don't even know if he can come back. He got to beat on a Celestial to come back. And
to come back, you got to like, remember when he was fighting Surtur or something? Like, you got to do something like that to come back. Like, you don't come back fighting like a regular sized dude. All right. Right. You got
You can't come back fighting the Abomination or whatever. I mean,
Abomination.
Abomination is a wash. I mean, my man Wong was beating up the Abomination. So.
Yeah, it's not Wong beat Abomination. It's just I guess Wong is teaching Abomination how to fight or something, or maybe control his anger. I don't know. They didn't really get into it.
And that's another thing.
They knew that would be a nice piece to add in, and that's what they did.
It's just another thing that they just throw in there, and it's not gonna connect to anything. It's just so. I do not.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense, or it could, but you'd have to make it make sense with like maybe the blip or some kind of breakout, and then maybe him encountering him.
Unnecessarily convoluted. Like, I keep reading all these things about like how is WandaVision gonna introduce the X-Men, and it just all these theories sound so convoluted and back.
Yeah. I think the best way they could do it is probably be like, look, the X-Men are in another universe, the end. That's it. And it got collapsed into this one, and don't ask no questions. Like this, it's because Wanda, I said so.
If Wanda ushers in the mutants with a spell, I'm reserved to know that I'm never gonna get the X-Men that I want. The X-Men should never be a result of Wanda doing anything.
Nah, yeah. I think it'd be cool if like just be like, hey, look, you know, they were in another. Say hi to Jason.
Hey man.
Hey man. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What's up, brother? Hey. Well, you got so blacklist sophisticated.
He said that was my brother, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me go ahead and bounce. I'll holler, man.
All right, man.
All right, take it
All right.
easy. Peace.
Later, mites.
All right, Jasons, we out.
All right.